What is up, YouTube? So it's a little chilly in my office. That's why I'm wearing the hat and the Thrasher hoodie. Because I keep it kind of cold because I'm not in here all the time. And I just got out of the shower, so a little chilly. That's why I got all this on. But today I want to talk about and clear up multiple things with Handskate. And I actually didn't realize Sam Tabor would post a video also talking about them today. I thought about this hours ago at work. Poor timing, I guess. But as you guys know, I ride for Handskate, and there's some questions I've been asked over the years, well, coming up on 2, I guess, so a year and a half, we'll say, about the company and questions about me and things like that. So that's what today's video is going to be, and we're just going to talk, one, because it's easy for me and I can get other things done tonight, but we're going to just get right into it. And first off, one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is, how come they changed their name from Hangnail to Handskate? These are identically the same board, except on the Handskate, the colors are a little brighter and the logo's different. So, like, this board, I will never open. I don't care if every one of my handboards breaks. It is the only hangnail board I have left in the package. So I do have one out of the package here that my wife used for a long time, but it's the only hangnail board I still have in the package. I'm keeping it in the package. But the reason for the name change is because you want to stand out from all other companies. So now with all the birth of new handboard companies becoming inspired from Hangnail and Redemption, now you have Genesis and you have many, many other ones who want to make the perfect handboard, but Handskate wanted to stand out, so they took the time, they changed the name, got the name licensed to them so they can use the name Handskate with no problems, and I believe no one else can use the name. I don't think they would be mean and pursue a lawsuit, but they own the rights to the name, and now they can build a brand that stands aside from everyone else. So that's for the name change. Now, other things is, the contracts they sign with people is fantastic because new boards just came out. And if you noticed, I have a ton of boards, but I don't have all the boards. And I kind of feel like a hoarder. Like, I feel mean because I want every graphic from the beginning till now in a box, and I want another one to use. So call me greedy, but there's a few that I'll probably leave in the box forever. So I do have a Braille board in the box, and I do have a Braille board that I used. So this one stays in the box. I'm not entirely sure when or if I will open the Camelicious in the box. So the one I really don't care about opening is, if I wanted to open one right now, is the Handskate Swirlicious. But, quick question that I get asked all the time by people, what is my favorite graphic? So, with the birth of new graphics coming out, this may change, but since I do not have them in person with me right now, the new graphics, I'm going to go with what I always go with. So when I got on the team, there was 3 graphics. There was Ferocious, Swirlicious, and Chilllicious. And if you meet me in person, you'll know I'm a huge fan of dark boards. I like the Grim Reaper on my board. I like zombies on my board. I like any horrific horror scene, dark colors. Now I actually am skating a white board for the first time ever, and it's not like it changes anything, it's just what I prefer. So when I got on the team, my first box I got Ferocious and Swirlicious, and if you guys don't know, Swirlicious is the tie-dyed one, and Ferocious, I do not have one to show you guys, but it is the pink leopard print, that cheetah print. But I'm not the biggest fan of them because they are super bright colors, and it's just not what I'm a huge fan of. So I actually didn't get Chilllicious in my first box ever, which is blue and smoke. I don't have one of those either to show you. But that was the one I was kind of hoping for, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So I went to Zyler and Brian, and I pitched an idea that actually birthed into a real board. So I went to them and said, hey, I have an idea for a board. People keep asking for a new graphic, and it will fit with the premise you've been going so far with. And I gave them the idea for a camouflage board, because I do like camouflage. And they sent me... Now, I didn't get to design the board. I am not a graphic designer. but they did send me pictures throughout the design process and asked me questions because it was originally my idea. And thus was born the Camolicious board. So that is my favorite board, but with all boards coming out now and all these new ones, it may change. But as of right now, that is my OG. That is the one I love to use. So, segueing into the new boards, you guys may have seen there's 3 new Braille boards out through the company Handskate that look fantastic. And there was one I was super excited for. And it's kind of interesting. It's an 8-bit Braille graphic. That was the one I was really, really stoked on. I grew up in this time era where arcades still kind of existed. I'm not old enough to have spent absurd amounts of time in an arcade, but I spent hours and hours of one in my local town with my brother, and it's memories I'll hold on to forever. Me and him were huge fans of the arcade, and we still are. So when I seen the 8-bit graphic, that like really, really hit home, but none of the Handskate crew can get one. So I'm handboarded, Zyler or me are not allowed to have one. It's not that we're not allowed, it's that when Handskate produced X amount of boards, Braille bought all of them. Every last one of them. Zyler doesn't even have one himself, and he runs parts of the company. So we can't get one unless we purchase one, and Braille has pretty much bought all of them, even to come. So I doubt I'll ever get to see one of those new ones, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Now I was promised, though, to get the 2 new graphics, whenever that is, that I get them, and that would be the new Revive Space Lifeline 2.0 that you guys may have seen today or last week when Andy now has 2 videos up with them in, and Sam just posted one with them in. That one may become my new favorite because that is freaking awesome. Now, the other 2 newest graphics from Handskate themselves, not through an outside company because I kind of forgot about these, is the mountain graphic that has a mountain scene and a sun in the background, and the spire graphic that has these alien spires with 2 suns in the background. These are super cool themselves, but that Space Lifeline, whew, baby, I gotta get my hands on it. Lastly is Sam Tabor's Pro model. Now, a lot of you may be confused, and it is quite simple about this Pro model, that Sam does not ride for Handskate. He will never appear in a Handskate video, kind of like YouTube's, you can get ways around it, so maybe he does do a video if he's in California with Zyler at the Braille House, but that's not really what I mean. He won't do one under the name of Handskate because he does ride for Redemption handboards. He is dedicated to them and he is pro to them. The whole reason why he has a Pro model, and it just makes sense, is because Handskate is friends with Jordan. Jordan owns Redemption, and Handskate is friends with Revive. So, making this board, Handskate can sell them to Revive and Redemption, and they get a profit from that. Then they go out on their own, and they sell their boards, and they get a profit too. So everybody gets profit from it. So I urge you guys to go out and buy them, and it came out super nice. And finally, I'm going to get into the final topic, that is all the graphics. And the final topic of today, before I do a couple other things, is everyone asks me where my Pro model is, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. So I will have a Pro model eventually, and I've already talked to Zyler about this, because a lot of people seem to think that I'm really angry that Sam Tabor got a Pro model on the team I ride for before I did, even though he has a Pro model through a different team. And for 2 reasons, I'm not really mad. First off, it's a smart choice. The more Sam Tabor boards you guys buy, the more money Handskate can make. The more money they make, the longer they're in business, the longer I'm sponsored because they are in business. Because if one day they ever were to go out of business, sadly, there's no more team. And I would love to see new guys on the team. I'd love to see if there's ever a trip in the future. But that starts with them making good profit. And with this, they should be able to. Now, this board is probably a one-off board, so we'll probably run it for a while, but I doubt he'll ever have another pro model unless things go well again with Jordan. But on top of all of what I'm saying, we're going to do number 2. Why I'm not mad is because everyone here knows whose boards are going to sell better, Sandtaber or mine. So people just kind of, I think, assumed who knew that Sandtaber was getting a pro model. Because I've known for probably about 3 months he was getting one. People, though, assumed that I would have one come out at the same time he did. And if that was the case, mine would collect dust. And it's kind of a bummer to me to know that. But I'm not stupid, so I do know that his would sell like hotcakes and mine would get moved one at a time. But I do believe that in the future, we will be doing a Team Series Pro. So the idea I pitched, and I actually, because I'm a super fan, ever since I was a little kid, but the idea I pitched is Power Ranger boards, where the 3 of us would choose a different Ranger and then have a design around there. But I threw out a couple other ideas. Zyler's on board with them. Just, we got to make sure that all the boards we have now get moved before we decide to move on with that. Now, that is everything about Handskate you may wanted to know. You got to see my little collection I have going. There is one Ferocious in here, but there's no point in it. It's the first ever board I bought. And my wife asked, since I had gotten sponsored ones, if she could play with it. So she sanded all of it off and then painted over it. But she only went halfway through the painting and stopped. So I didn't even grab it out of the closet behind me. But this is my collection. Now, to finish out the video quickly, I am going to do a new yo-yo trick and a new handboard trick. The yo-yo trick is called slack trapeze, and I've landed a couple of them, but it is my first ever slack trick, and it's nothing special, but it is my first one. If you don't know what slack is, it's when you actually hold the string making a loop when the yo-yo's over here, and you whip the slack into places, and it looks really cool. Mine is the most basic, so not really. And the new handboard trick is either going to be switch heel back tail or switch varial heel nose grind. I'm going to aim for switch heel back tail, but I feel like that's going to be very difficult. And if I can't get it in 10 to 15 minutes, I'll switch to the other one. So let's get right into that. And I'm going to finish the video out here with the talking, though. And as always, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Definitely pick up a hand skateboard right over at handskate.com. Pick them up from Braille. Pick them up from Revive. You could even pick them up from redemptionhandboards.com. They are so much fun. As you can see, I love playing with them. And as always, guys, have a great day.